It's a new month and it's the high plus 5 a day for the 1st of June. And let's just go straight into the first one. Now, I think we've seen this question before, so I'm going to lay it out in the usual way, which is what I'm effectively doing here is I'm going to work out the area of the whole cone and then take away the area of the little cone, and that's going to leave behind the water. It says liquid, but whatever that liquid might be. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to think about the fact the volume of a cone is a third times pi times r squared times h. So in other words, I need an r and I need an h. Thinking about what I've got, so I'm told the overall height is 9, which means the height of the smaller cone is 3. And that's really important because that means a scale factor to get from the large one to the small one is to multiply by a third. Let's pull all this together. So I've got my r, or I need an r, and I need an h. I've got the large cone and I've got the small cone. So for the large cone, I can see from the diagram the radius is 3. The scale factor is times a third, so therefore the radius of the small cone is going to be 1. Similarly for the height, now I can see from the diagram, I've worked out that the height of the smaller cone is 3 already, and unsurprisingly, because I know the scale factor is a third or 3 depending on which way I'm going, so therefore the height is 9, again from the diagram. Which means all in one, I can work out the volume of the liquid by saying a third times pi times a radius squared, which is 3 squared, times the height, which is 9, minus the small one, which is a third times pi times the radius squared, which is 1 squared, or just write 1, times the height, which is 3, is going to be equal to the volume of my liquid, which, well, let's do the step in between, because it's always a bit risky to try and be too clever. So I've got 3 squared divided by 3, which is 3, and 3 times 9 is 27 pi. And for the smaller one, it's a third times 3, which is 1. So taking away pi, and all this is approximately, well, it's not approximately, actually, it's exactly equal to 26 pi. Now, if I get my calculator out, 26 pi, it doesn't say here what to do, does it? So I'm going to just give a number anyway, because it's always good to give a proper number. So that's going to be 81.7 centimeters cubed. And just check it is centimeters. Yes, it is. First question done. Next question. And it looks like a median and a probability question. Okay, so because it's median, I'm going to start by working out the cumulative frequency. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying all these values are between 0 and 24. Let's write 4 slightly neater. And then all these values are between 24 and add 31 is going to give me 55. Add 50 is going to give me 105. Add 35 is going to give me 145. No, it's not. It's going to give me 140. And then add 60. Well, I feel a bit better, by the way, because now this is a nice round number. So that just doesn't mean it's right, but suggests it might be, which gives me a total frequency of 200, which means the median occurs at the 100th term, which means the median occurs within this class here, i.e. it is between 55 and 105. Now the median value is 100, the one I want, minus the 55 I'm starting that class at, along the way of the 50 within there. So in other words, that is my fraction of the way along that yellow class that I need. Then I'm going to multiply by the class width itself, which is 10, i.e. 30 minus 20. I'm going to add on the initial value of the class, which is 20. I'm going to get my calculator out, and that tells me it's actually a nice round number. So it's a nice round number of 29, which doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but just look at the values. The values are they're not symmetrical at all, actually, but kind of leaning a bit towards the upside and the downside. So 29 feels about correct. It's definitely not a feel question, but common sense answer. Anyway, next question. 2 patients are picked at random. Find the probability that both patients waited more than 30 minutes. So the first patient is picked from 200. The second patient is picked from 199. How many people are waiting more than 30 minutes? Well, it's going to be these people here. So there's going to be 95 of those. 94 remain to choose from. Again, calculator out. And the calculator, just reading off the calculator, says 893. Let's write this down. So 893 over 3980. 3980. And that is question done. In fact, it's not too bad a question. We've had a few of these medians. If you're not quite sure, do go back and check some of the other ones. But a question you should be okay with. Next one. Here's a graph of y equals sine x. It is indeed between 0 and 360. Then it says one solution. Right, okay. So what it's saying is I've got a solution here, and I'm roughly approximating it as 330. The question says find the other solution, and it's going to be this solution here, isn't it? So what I'm going to recognise, I'm going to zoom in as much as I can, is the difference between here and here is 30. So the difference between here and here should be 30 as well. So the symmetry of the curve tells us it's 180 plus 30, which is going to give me 210 degrees. And that is my answer to that question. Again, not too bad. Next question. We're starting this month kind of okay, aren't we? Next question. Probably going to get a horrible simultaneous equations question, aren't we? I need to rearrange the linear one so that y equals 11 minus 2x. And then I need to put it into this one here. So that's going to be 2x squared minus y squared, which I've just worked out. So it's going to be 11 minus 2x all squared is equal to 23. Now, really easy to mess this up, so as neat as I can. So it's going to be 2x squared minus, I'm going to do the expanding first, 121 minus 2 times 11 is 22 times 2 is 44, x plus 4x squared equals 23. Then I'm going to expand my bracket, so that's going to be 2x squared minus 121 minus is plus and minus 4x, and move the 23 over. And then I'm going to collect. So I've got 2x squared minus 4x squared. Now I'm going to draw a big minus, and you'll see why in a second, which are going to be minus 2x squared. Then I've got plus 44x. And then I've got 121 minus 23, which is minus 144. Now, that's equal to 0. Now, what I'm going to do now is multiply everything by minus 1. So I didn't want to do this in one go, but I would normally do it in one go. So my minus becomes a plus at the start. My plus 44 becomes a minus 44. And my minus 144 becomes plus 144. Then I'm going to divide everything by 2. And that means, hopefully, I can see how to factorize it more easily. So plus 72 is equal to 0. Now, 72 is, well, it's 12 and 6, and it's also 18 and 4. Yeah, 18 and 4, of course it is. So therefore, it is going to be x minus 18. Remember, 2 minuses and a plus at the end, means both is a minus, equals 0, which means that either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 18. But the question is not find the x values, it's solve. So I need the y values as well. So I'm going to put them back into here. So if x is equal to 4, then 11 minus 2 times 4 is 11 minus 8, which is going to be 3. So it's x equals 4, y equals 3. That's one pair of solutions. And then the other pair of solutions, well, 2 times 18 is 36, and 11 minus 36 is minus 25. And note how really clearly linked these solutions together. It's important I do that. And then is it actually not too bad start to the month today? Was it that first question I think we've seen before? We've seen the medians definitely before. Nice little sign, do you understand your curves? And the final simultaneous equation, late stage paper type question. So yeah, good questions and all. Let me know how they went for you. Let's hope we get some more different questions this month. See you for the next one.